Welcome to another Mission to Bank memory as we celebrate 25 years of hockey here in Condorstown. Ryan Holt, pleased to be joined by one of the toughest to ever wear a Condors jersey, number 44, Kevin Barrett. And Bear, I talk about wearing a Condors jersey, but it all started wearing a Fog jersey next door at the theater. What was that year like next door and kind of getting your feet wet here in Bakersfield as a member of the Bakersfield Fog next door?
Yeah, well, that was memorable, all right. Keith Gretzky recruited me to come here, and I looked at him, I think, after one of the first practices, and I looked like, you play here? He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We're building a new arena soon. It'll all be fine. So we just kind of took it with a grain of salt, and actually it was kind of unique now looking back all those years. We actually played next door in that, but when it opened here, we were sure excited to become Condors and play in this new building for sure.
Yeah, so you came back to Condorstown. What was that like? Because you're a year away to come back to Bakersfield and to see the finished product, because when you left, it was basically a hole in the ground, and you come back and you get a sparkling new 8,500 seat arena sitting in downtown Bakersfield now. Yeah,
I mean, that was for the community. Let's face it, a non-traditional market. I'm sure it's been called that since as well. And to have a multi-million-dollar modern facility to play hockey in down here was kind of cool. And the fact that it's lasted 25 years and still going strong is nothing short of remarkable. And I'm really proud to just be a small piece of that history.
And you kind of were sharing too. You had a pretty decent opening game. You got in the starting lineup for the first ever game here in Condorstown. Right. What was that like?
That's right. I used to brag about it all the time to Bartle. We can say Bartle.
Yeah, you can say Bartle.
We said
sure,
Fog
yeah.
already.
I'm sure you can say Fog. You can say Bartle. Yeah, we relive everything.
I was pretty excited to come back to Bakersfield and open up the Centennial Garden. It was called back then, but it's the same building. And my good friend Glenn Mears and I were in the starting lineup, starting D partners. And that was one of my favorite, or most, what I can remember anyways. Slept since then, but I was in the starting lineup, and the way I recall it was they must have been so excited to be in the starting lineup that we, first shift, we got walked. They split the D, the other team, I don't even remember who we were playing, but they split the D on us, and Glenn and I were just kind of staring at each other in slow motion and watch this happen. And I can't remember if they scored or
they probably didn't. Our
goalie bailed us out like usual back then. But that was my memory of starting lineup. It was I don't even know if we won, Holty, to be honest. It's been 25 years, but I don't think Glenn Mears and I played another shift the rest of the season together. The coach was pretty mad.
So now you've been a player, you've been a coach, you've been a broadcaster, and you've worked in the front office for this organization over the course of 25 years. What's been the most fun for you? Because you've seen the organization from just about every different aspect that you could possibly see an organization at the minor league level.
Yeah, the most fun was broadcasting. And what I'm most proud of was one year we did the hockey-thon, and we started that, and we raised $50,000 in one weekend for breast cancer. That's what I'm most proud of. The most fun was broadcasting. I took it seriously. I thought I could help grow the game and give listeners a chance that couldn't make it to the game. The experience that I had growing up, driving home or driving around town in Winnipeg, listening to old Winnipeg Jets games, and took me back, and I thought I could bring something back to the new fans here, and I studied Sunday Night Football, and I took it seriously because it truly was fun, and I'm proud to be a part of growing the game in that way as well.
You mentioned hockey-thon as well too. It was such a big part of your life here as a Condor, and being able to kind of be the spearhead for a lot of that, and a lot of the alumni too coming together. Maybe that relationship that you've had with alumni. You mentioned Glenn Mears, your good friend from way back in the day. He's still here, and you've got dozens of alumni still here in Bakersfield that you keep in contact with throughout the years. What's that relationship like? Because it's, I think, pretty rare, especially in a minor league market, especially in a town like Bakersfield, to have as many guys that have stuck around and really made the next generation here in Bakersfield.
Yeah, it is special. I mean, it is unique. But I think that's something the town should be proud of, or city. Are we a city?
Yeah, sure.
I think that's something to be proud of as Bakersfield people, because the city is what we initially stayed for, and now we have homes and families and careers. But I keep in touch with the core group more. Brian McCarthy, Glenn Muir, Steve Dowie. We're in contact fairly regularly. The other guys that came later, that are in the oil and gas industry, like Glenn and I, Hofstrand and Borders, we see them occasionally at golf events and fundraisers and alumni games. But it's pretty unique. It's pretty special to have so many alumni still here in town. But that's, like I said, that's the city and that's the community that we're in. It is special.
So wouldn't be able to sit down with Kevin Barrett without getting maybe his most memorable moment behind the bench, and that's what we'll call it. 2 years for yourself as an assistant coach here in Bakersfield during the ECHL era, and I don't know, there was a bird that the bird was going to sing the national anthem, I think, but just your recollection of that day, I guess, and kind of where were you, I guess, when the bird happened?
Well, I had a front row seat, so I was assistant coach, as you know. But it goes back. Let me rewind to the afternoon, the preparation. So Odie and I, the coach back then, we were preparing for the game. The players had gone home for their naps and whatnot, and it was rehearsing. Like the bird and its handler were rehearsing in the afternoon. It was much like this. It was all nice and quiet. You could hear the buzz of the lights. That was it. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like, it's actual real condor. This is really happening. And it was on the arm, and they were doing the whole thing. And I thought nothing of it. I discounted it. Like, when all the lights and the music and Mike Hart gets screaming, and what is going to happen to this bird? And I thought nothing of it. They're professionals. So then, sure enough, when it happened, we all know the story, I think, by now. It's got its run. But a lot of people, they know the bird, and it just disappears, and then that's it, and then the game started. Well, this bird, after it jumped on our bench, I know that's the famous clip with George, going back, whatever, and it walked down the bench, and my position on the bench, the assistant coach, right, it was right by the tunnel, and to start the game, and I started backing up towards the tunnel to get away. The bird follows me down the tunnel, and I'm backing up, and that's when I first realized that those doors that are in the hallway, they lock the doors or they shut the doors, and I'm backed up, and I can't find the chinger to get out, and this thing's coming at me, wingspan like an elephant, and I was like, this is it. This is how it ends. I'm getting pecked to death by a extinct bird, and so I was pretty scared, and I froze. And right as it got, within a foot of me, or really close, where I was like scared, the handler comes, swoops him away, and off he goes. And I just thought I needed to tell that story because, you see the clip and the bird just goes away. So then after, I was like, the game's about to start, and I'm like, okay, I'm okay. And I go, Odie. He's like, get away from me. I was like, no, Odie, seriously, I almost died. This thing chased me down the hallway. Yeah, I don't care. He ripped my suit. Get away from me. And that's how I remember that. And then the game started, and I honestly don't know if we won or lost, and who we were playing that day either. I just remember that night and the bird and things you can't see, on the camera.
And millions of views later, here we are today. Let me ask you, when you first came out here to Bakersfield, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, but when you saw, what it was back then and to what it is now, and you have guys going on to the NHL and guys going and making multi-million-dollar deals in the NHL now, you mentioned the pride that the city should feel, but how much pride do you feel knowing that you were a part of the original start and still a part of it to this day here in Condorstown?
I'm super proud to be a part of the history that this team, a small part, mind you, right? I was in the starting lineup and I've played several roles, but I had all those different roles because I really believed in the product. Like Matt Riley and staff have been here. Some of them have been here the whole entire time too. And they've done a great job at taking a non-traditional market and making it a competitive, sustainable enterprise, right? And now we're owned by an NHL team. Like, who would have thought that? And no, I'm really proud to be a small piece of the history of this organization.
And now one final one, not only on the ice here in Bakersfield, but there's also the practice facility next door that wouldn't be here without the Condors. But when you look at that facility and all the hours that you spent over there with the kids and with the youth hockey programs and just getting them involved that way, how cool is that to have your kids grow up playing hockey here in Bakersfield, and they've gone on to bigger and better things on the baseball side of things, but how cool has that been to coach the next generation of not only little Bear Cubs, but also here in Bakersfield, others that haven't been able to play the game growing up?
Well, yeah, that's just part of it. Like, if you have something to give back to your community, whether it be coaching or, a skill that you want to pass on, I think you need to take that opportunity to utilize that and maximize that. So yeah, it's been looking back, it's been very interesting road, right? But very special at the same time. Teaching kids that grew up in California the game of hockey, and two of my kids have dabbled in that. And then later on, like you said, they chose baseball and they're having success at that sport. And now my younger two are coming through the elementary and high school system here. And it's, I have 4 kids, Holty. Just you wait. I came here to rest for the day, so I appreciate that. But they, it's. I mean, I can't say, and not just me. There's all kinds of alumni that have given back to this program. Iron Arrow and Hofstrands, I think, have been there the longest, and Jamie Cook and Mears before them, and Scott Hay, of course. And we all just feel that. Well, I can't speak for them, but yeah, you got to give back whatever you can share with the community and support kids and their dreams. So we're going to keep doing that as long as they have those dreams. We'll support them.
So is it more nerve-wracking coaching behind the bench here as a radio broadcaster, on the ice, or coaching your kids?
I would say 10-year-old baseball has been the most stressful of all of those things. Yeah, I can't sit still. Some coaches, they sit on the bucket, right? And they pad those buckets now, which is kind of cool. But yeah, they can't, I can't sit. And especially when your kid is pitching, you're the coach, you put your kid out there to pitch, kind of like, you better do okay, right? Because
yeah, exactly. And
he plays shortstop, right? So true, epitome of a daddy ball thing, which is a whole nother story. But yeah, I get nervous. I walk back and forth, start pacing. I just got to go walk to the outfield. Where's the coach going? I don't know. Just let him be. It's very stressful. Yeah.
Well, Bear, we appreciate the time. We appreciate all you've done for this organization. I appreciate you from our relationship going back over a decade now, and thanks for the time, and I appreciate you being here.
Appreciate it. Great job, Walt. Keep it up.
Thank you. That's Kevin the Bear Barrett for More with Bear. You can check out our YouTube page, Condors.tv, for not only with Bear, but all the other alumni as we celebrate 25 years of Condors hockey. I'm Ryan Holt. See you next time.